The other thing that's frustrating is, as much as I'm suffering and status quo suffers by being hidden, because that's what's going on, these communities suffer. And Flint suffers, and candidates who are not getting any coverage or getting fair coverage by the corporate media, they're getting buried too. And it's maddening because, when I was at the Young Turks, for example, this was pre YouTube adpocalypse and rigging their algorithm. I mean, I grew the fastest channel they ever had at that point. Not because I'm so special, but because I was covering these types of things, and it was on a fair playing field. So I know for a fact I don't need market research. I've done it. There's a huge hunger for on-the-ground reporting on, the controlled demolition of the working class, corruption, environmental genocide, water contamination. The list goes on. Black Lives Matter. But if people don't see it, it's not just YouTube, by the way. Twitter has been suppressing me for years. If people don't see it, then how not only how does status quo thrive or even exist, but how do you wake more people up? I mean, I always use my parents as an example. God bless them. They voted for Trump. I love them, but whatever. But when I show them the stuff I'm doing, their first reaction is, how come this isn't on CNN? How come no one else is talking about this? Because they can't believe it, what they're seeing, and that's the typical reaction I get when people can actually see the reporting. But if you can't see it, then it's very difficult. And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, YouTube, these tech platforms, they are waging an information war. I don't think it's a coincidence that the one of the lone outlets that's actually doing like on the ground independent reporting on these stories, like putting a face to these people, giving them a voice, that channel is so badly suppressed and hidden. And I don't know. I mean, my partner Jen and I, we've tried everything under the kitchen sink to get it out more, but we're kind of being suppressed at every point. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We can't even purchase ads. We can't even give YouTube money to show our content more visibly because they call it political advertising. So wow. It's been tough. It's been tough, and I appreciate you bringing it up, because honestly, if we succeed, if we fail, if we're able to be seen and people just don't like it, I could live with that. But if we fail because there's literally a rigged algorithm that's hiding us, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Just to give everybody an idea here, and now I'm talking about my channel, and I honestly think, now I'm just guessing and I'm speculating, but I think there's actually a hierarchy, and there are different levels of how much they promote your stuff. I don't think it's it's just you're on the good algorithm or the bad algorithm. I think there's like tier A, tier B, tier C, yeah, and it goes all the way down. So just to give everybody a sense of how bad it is, okay? Again, this is me. As soon as YouTube announced their new rule to prioritize authoritative news sources, which, by the way,
like Fox News, by the way.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't mean actually authoritative. It means the same corporate douchebags who've been wrong about virtually everything. They were wrong on Iraq. They were wrong on Syria. They were wrong on Russiagate. I can sit here and go down a whole list of things they got wildly wrong. So as soon as they announced that, Secular Talk saw a drop in new subs of 88%.
Wow.
Now,
Jesus.
People might say, well, hey, that could just happen. What happens on a bad month? Wrong. We know because I've been on YouTube since 2012, 2013, doing it full time. Once your channel hits a certain size, you have exponential growth because the more people watch your videos, the more they recommend it to new people. So a bad month is like a gain of 15%, not a loss of 88%. That's just insane. And actually, you have now gotten a little taste of this as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a direct apples to apples comparison because we went directly from being under the Hill corporate umbrella to out on our own. And look, I want to say now people can get it by podcast, and I think some people listen to the podcast numbers have been really strong and really big, and so I think some people who used to watch on YouTube now watch on the podcast. But there is zero doubt that we'll do the same exact story, same type of headline. It's me and Sagar. We're the same people, same human beings. The show still looks great and all of that, but it just does not get recommended in the way that it used to when we were at the Hill. And so Jordan, part of why what you do is so incredibly important is because I'm struggling. So the Real News, they do on the ground reporting, but you're one of the only outlets that not only does original journalism, but on the ground reporting. Absolutely vital. Bringing cameras into these communities that normally are completely invisible, and so that's why it's the work you're doing is such an important role in the ecosystem. Why it's such a loss for all of us, as you were pointing out, when that work is suppressed. What have you done from a business perspective, and how can people support the work that you're doing? Since Lord knows we can't rely on any of the social media platforms whatsoever whatsoever. They're just going to continue to screw over independent voices more and more.
Absolutely. And I appreciate it. I mean, I will not shy away. I've had to beg for exposure at this point. So I appreciate you guys. And by the way, Kyle, just so you know, the 2 times Kyle Kalinske did a video just highlighting some of our reporting, all of a sudden I get 1,500 to 2,000 new subscribers, and comments start flooding in. Jordan, you're back from old young Turks, old Young Turks viewers who just saw me for the first time. We've been doing this for 3 years. Wow. People, first and foremost, we're on YouTube, status coup, COUP. Subscribe, I guess. Click the bell for all notifications. If it, I don't know if it works, but so that's number one. We're trying to get around YouTube suppression by just building up our text list. So we text people when we're live. So that's status coup.com/text. And yeah, most importantly, if you got $5 a month, it would go towards this on the ground reporting. Progressives you don't have to agree with my commentary when I'm not on the road 24/7 to support the on the ground reporting, because honestly, it's very expensive. Hotels, flights, rent-a-cars, equipment. Myself, my partner Jen, our producer Colin, our overhead per month ranges between 10 to 15 grand, and that's like I'm making 50 grand less than I made at the Young Turks. This is my purpose. It's not to make money. So statuscoup.com/join. You can become a member for as low as $5 a month. And I think whether it's Status Coup or others, I think we bash corporate media, but you can't even begin to counter that echo chamber if you're not actually showing what's happening on the ground. So So statuscoup.com/join. And if you can't support financially, just subscribe to the YouTube. Statuscoup.com/text to know when we're live, and we're also on Substack at status Substack.
Yeah, that's a good idea to be on Substack as well, to just try to get the word out there as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, I'm a pundit, you know, I'm a commentator. I read stuff I find interesting in the news. I cover it, and then I give my opinion. And you know, I'll be the first to admit you're doing something that's more important than what I'm doing. You know, anybody can give their opinion on some shit. That's easy. You know, you're the one who's actually on the ground gathering the information and to share it, which then allows loud mouths like me to go out there and be like, here's what I think about this. Mm-hmm. But right. I can't do that if I don't have information I can rely on and trust and know that it's coming at me with no filter.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
So anyway.